The theme verse for this year and upward is Mark 10:27. Jesus looked at them and said, "With people, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible."
One of the miracles of Jesus is in the story of the prodigal son, where God gave his son the free will to take their sin as far away from him as they wanted to. And when the son came back, the father rejoiced and just ran and left and didn't care what the son had done, because he gave him true forgiveness and embraced him and gave him full authority as he did and which he had previously. And so when I think of the redemption story that is life, we're all seeking redemption. We've all, violated what God wanted for us, and we choose to return to him in the warm embrace or run from it.
So there's a story that I really like. It's called when Jesus calmed the winds and the waves with the disciples on the boat, and Jesus was sleeping. There was a big storm, and the disciples woke him up, and they said, "Jesus, can you stop the waves if you are really God?" And then he stopped the waves, and they said, "Who is this man? Even the winds and waves obey him."
I would describe a miracle as something that is beyond our control, that has a positive influence on the direction of where we focus our love towards. And so, being led in the Spirit maybe means doing things that you wouldn't normally do that would lead to a different outcome. And so sometimes throughout the day, when you just hear the Spirit speaking and you pursue it, the fruit of that could be miraculous in somebody else's life. And we too focus on ourselves. But again, love is valuing others as more important or a treasure.
If you were to ask us, has God done a miracle in your life? Well, you're looking at that right now. This is Dan and I'm Maruna, and just the fact that we are together, we're married, and we have our 3 kids is an absolute miracle of our story,
Yeah, 5 years ago, if you had told me that, there was hope for my life and there was hope for my future, I probably would have driven you to a rehab because I didn't think there was any hope, but God did the miraculous and God restored my family.
There was, I think the main thing in our marriage was that there was a relapse and addiction and unfaithfulness, and it just was, I remember at one point in our marriage thinking this is it, like we've reached the end. People in our lives also felt the same way, and there was like absolute zero hope for any sort of reconciliation.
Yeah, even though I wanted our marriage to work, there was parts of hopelessness after this other relapse that happened and her finding out, where I honestly questioned myself and thought, am I ever going to get over this addiction? Is it even I felt for Maruna, and I felt like, I don't even want to do this to her. I don't want to put her through this again. So I almost gave up on myself, but God was always, whispering to me and speaking to me that there was hope and that he was with me and that with him I could get through this addiction. And
yeah, and that's exactly it. I think God, but God had other plans for us, because both of us, we were both in a place of absolute devastation, and in it, he was very loud and very clear and really showed us both what the next step was, because we couldn't take the next step on our own. And Dan, you really did the hard work in that. You said yes to that, and everything that was put in front of him, he did it well, and that led me to see that, okay, maybe God, this is where you're leading us, into a place of renewing trust again, and into a place of, I think God is so for families to stay together. I think broken families aren't part of, it's not in his heart, right?
It was also just cool seeing Maruna just start to trust me again. I think, it was annoying at times because it was a lot of work getting her trust back, but now I can honestly say, like, she's one of my biggest champions. And people now who come and they're in the program that I actually did, and they see us, and when I tell them my story, they're just in disbelief because they they thought, oh, well, you guys have such a great marriage. How could that have happened in your marriage? And I actually, just in December, celebrated 5 years of clean time and clean and sober after battling, on and off addiction for over 10 years.